All
Hello.
right.
Welcome
Hello
along.
and welcome to Developers, otherwise known as Devx5. My name's Ian Jennings, and this is Chris Chinchilla.
Hey, how's everybody doing?
And today we are going to look at StepZen, which helps you easily build Jamstack GraphQL APIs for any data source.
There's a lot of buzzwords in here.
Yeah.
We've got GraphQL, we've got Jamstack. Actually, that's about it, but that's a reasonable amount. I'm intrigued. I've actually come across a few. This is kind of what GraphQL has promised, and you have tools like Gatsby as well that sort of do this with some similar technologies in a similar space where they massage various data sources into one that's easier to kind of query. And this has always been the promise of GraphQL. I know you're an API guy. Well, that could be your nickname. Have you had much experience with GraphQL? Yeah.
So I've obviously seen it blowing up, but I haven't really seen it implemented in places where I've used it before. It's strange the how much it's one of those things where you hear it talked about so often, but I haven't seen it implemented that often. Yeah.
Actually, funnily, I think the last actually three companies I've worked for have used it. Mostly internally, though.
Oh.
And generally, they've all been React code bases. Two of them were a React code base for the front end, and one was actually a product built on top of GraphQL, so they were likely to use it, of course. I've written some blog posts about it. I've always found that it's one of these, I think it's going to be a little bit like our episode last week with Tailwind, where GraphQL is one of these tools that if you know you have a problem, you know how it will help you. But if you're kind of new to it, it can be quite confusing and overwhelming to know how to get started, despite the promise of the community. That's not the case. This has often been my experience of it, that it's kind of like, hey, here's how to get started, and then huge jump, here's how to do something actually in production, and filling in those gaps can be quite difficult. But yeah, I'm intrigued to see if this hosted service can make that easier for us. Yeah.
And would you say are there special integrations with React and the rest of the Facebook kind of ecosystem?
Yeah, very much so, and some others as well. I've interviewed some of the major projects on my podcast, like Apollo, Apollo, and some others. I'll show you what I can remember right now. But some of these preeminent people in the space, it definitely sits very well with JavaScript frameworks, but not exclusively. And anything that needs to call a lot of data at once, which is, I think, where something like StepZen becomes useful, because
Yeah.
you can. I can't think of there's technical words, but the best word I could think of is, I think, munge the data together. I don't know if that's a real word, but I'm sure I've heard someone use. I don't know. I'm sure I've heard this somewhere before, like this kind of connecting things together. And I've played around with Gatsby as well, which also sort of promises to do this, but I often get a bit overwhelmed with Gatsby. But it's a tempting idea, actually, bringing in like a MySQL database, bringing in some random REST API, bringing in some kind of NoSQL database, and kind of squishing them all together and then serving it out with one unified API. But yeah, the proof and the actual reality has often been harder. But yeah. How about we dive into StepZen then?
Yeah, let's go for it.
All right, I will just...
I'm reading the Wikipedia page right now, and
GraphQL,
it was only released at the end of 2015.
Yeah, it's one of these technologies that sometimes feels like it's been around forever, but it really hasn't.
Yeah, I wonder if that's why I haven't seen it in the wild so often, because you'd think any API would have to be newer than 5 years old.
Yeah.
Right.
I think a lot of people add it on top. Like, so GitHub has,
I have heard of that.
Yeah, they have had a GraphQL API for a little while, I think. What I think can vary is if a company or if a product is using GraphQL native, or if they've kind of added on GraphQL to their REST endpoint or something like that. That's where it can be uncertain. So this is StepZen. I actually came across them. I interviewed one of the developer relations people from StepZen and also from another company who are actually working on a book on the Jamstack for Manning. So they do know their stuff. And then I heard about the company and it seemed kind of interesting. So they've been on my list for a little while. I mean, this, I guess, first and foremost, this graphic here seems to make a reasonable amount of sense. Like database, REST, pre-built connectors, whoop, you know.
Yeah.
It makes it look so very easy. Combined backends, that's kind of what we were talking about. Security, that's sort of what we'd expect. Yeah. I think most of it makes reasonable sense here. It doesn't look like we can do much until we've signed up. So let's do that, I guess, unless there's something in the docs that we're missing. I feel like what is maybe, quick start guide. Let's go for quick start guide. Okay. So yeah, we do need an account first by the looks of it. So let's create an account.
The CLI was not what I was expecting, but let's see what kind of adventure.
Maybe we'll see. That's often a nice trick. I think there was the classic one for doing that was Pusher. I don't know if you ever remember Pusher. I think they're still going. I think, and they had this very nice tool that you could like download, push something from the CLI, and you saw it on their webpage, which was always good.
Okay.
Okay, I will sign up with GitHub to prevent having to put passwords and things on a video stream. Authorized steppers. Okay. I guess that's them.
Yeah, that would have been their first name.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
Fallen at the first hurdle. I do have a lot of blockers on, but I have signed up with GitHub before.
Check state is missing.
I may very quickly go back and turn my blocker off and just, I think I'm gonna get stuck in a login loop if I'm not careful. I'll just turn my blockers off just to be sure and try again.
Where'd it go? Okay. Well, looks like you're gonna have to log in manually.
And I just realized the same thing happened last time. When I turned off my ad blocker, it temporarily disconnects me from the stream.
Yeah, that's interesting.
I remember that happened last time. Okay, I'll leave it off for now. Okay. Okay, let's do this manually. I'm not going to do that again. I'll remember that for next time. Don't do that again, Chris. Okay. It looks like I'm back. Yes. Okay, good. Right. I won't do that again. All right. Actually, you know what I'll do? I'll just drop my screen out for a second. If this was just a local service, I'd be okay with it, but it's not.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
well,
nice.
You don't have to enter a credit card, so you don't have to worry about exposing the keys, I guess.
No. Actually, I'll show you now, because I've got past a bit of showing a password, and this is quite nice. So it's obviously using Gravatar, because I've instantly got my little...
Yeah, this is actually Alt0, this login page.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, oops, I'm trying to log in. Uh-oh, that's my fault. Okay, hang on. Back we go again. I think we'd be better at this by now. All right, good. Okay.
Oh, did something go wrong again?
Oh, that's not good. This isn't a good start.
Wow. Let me try myself.
Yeah, falling at the first hurdle isn't a good start.
Yeah.
Unless it's Alt0 having a problem, which would be annoying.
Okay, I was able to get in.
Really?
Yeah, maybe there's something wrong with your account. Like maybe your account Maybe try a different email address.
I could try a different browser, just out of pure interest. Oh, actually, but hang on, look, I'm logged
Oh,
in.
there you are.
So
Okay, you're in.
something was just getting disconnected there. Okay, right, good. Let's go back to the. Yes, I'm revealing keys. I'll sort that out later. I don't think there's so much you can do. So with my account right now. Okay, so let's install that. Now, if this is doing a whole bunch of GraphQL dependencies, this could take a while. Let's see. When I stream, I tend to switch to wired connection for stability, but for some strange reason, downloading packages from NPM on our wired connection is really slow. I don't know why. So, so don't necessarily count on it always being.
Well, because the tubes get clogged. There's more space in the air.
It's really weird. I don't quite understand why only on the network connection and not on the Wi-Fi. But yeah, unfortunately, I don't really have any control over the internet here, so I can't do much about it. I can see all sorts of there's a lot of
React DOM is an
big
interesting
dependencies
one
here.
for
reactive. I think. Oh, that wasn't too bad.
why would React DOM be necessary for CLI? I don't know. Let's keep.
I don't know.
Let the story
All
keep
right.
unfolding here.
Run StepZen login. StepZen login. That's like someone's name. Okay.
All right.
Oh, so your account name. I guess my account name is. Oh.
Yeah, Kaki J.
Yeah? That's weird. Have I got the right account, or am I on some weird default? That's strange.
Kaki J part.
Okay. Fair enough. Admin key. Okay. So far, oh, that's nice. I mean, I'm showing it on the stream, but that was nice. You're successfully logged in. If you run into an error, okay, good. What's the difference between admin key and API key? Admin key is required to modify your API, and okay, good. I mean, that's the getting started. It hasn't got me doing very much.
Yeah.
I'm not really sure what to do next. Maybe
Getting started.
Overview. I think that's this bit.
I think that's going to be that page.
There we go.
Import a
Okay.
template.
Quickest way to get started is to use one of our templates. Provide API code, pre-built schemas for a number of popular APIs. Walk through the Open Weather Map template, pulling from this API, which I am assuming, I don't know if you know, Ian, is it just a normal REST API?
The open weather maps, yeah, the weather APIs are so popular for these.
Okay. Oops. Yeah, I'm not in London. I don't know why things are in London. But I don't know. It's not in London. I know what the weather is because it's been raining all day. But anyway, okay. Let's do that. So far, so good. Nice. StepZen import. So this is their template, I guess. I wonder if they have other templates we could see. Okay. I wonder what that does. Just, is it a data set? Is it other things?
Yeah, this is.
What would you like your API to be called? Wobbly Spaniel. I quite like Wobbly Spaniel. I don't know about you.
Yeah, they nailed it. All right.
Do you remember when Docker, I think it still does at times, create those super weird auto-generated names?
Would you like to use your personal API key or the default keys? So you could, why even log in if we could have used their keys?
I get the feeling I might not have logged in. I'm not quite sure what I feel like something's got a bit odd with my account, but we'll go with StepZen then, I think, just to be safe.
I'm worried, I'm worried what personal means.
Okay.
All right.
Explore the code in a moment. Get the sample running by using StepZen start. Okay. It's quite a nice CLI design so far. Let's see. There's actually a very good book we should mention. Or not a book, it's a free thing available by a bunch of different people. See, I can very quickly... Oops. Hang on.
Well, let's just pop that up.
Yeah, hang on. Let me just very quickly... I think it's this.
GraphQL book.
No, it's. I think it's this. I hope it's this.
Oh, it's a resource for CLIs?
No, it's not. That's not it. I don't know what that is. There's a really good guide on CLI tool development by some people at Square and a whole bunch, I think DigitalOcean and a bunch of others. It's actually a really nice guide I've been working my way through. So this is actually the standard GraphQL interface. This is not a StepZen thing. They've added some stuff, obviously. But yeah, this is the standard thing you get for free with GraphQL. So now we see this, continue to watch for changes to the schema code and upload them, allowing you to test the changes immediately. So this is where it gets kind of interesting because, this might be fascinating to you to see how GraphQL works. So this is assuming you kind of know what GraphQL is, which I guess is reasonable. I don't think you would be coming to a service that combines various resources into a GraphQL endpoint if you didn't really know why you wanted that. So I guess that's a reasonable assumption. But to quickly recap from my memory, this is using, this is actually where I find that GraphQL is a bit of a letdown, and a bit of a letdown in terms of developer experience, is you have to actually make all this behind the scenes.
Yeah.
It makes it seem like it's magic, but it's not. You actually still have to write quite a lot of stuff behind the scenes to make this kind of stuff work. And that's where I've often disliked a lot of tutorials I've found. They kind of abstract that and say, oh, it's so easy. It's like, is it really?
Well, maybe it's from the perspective of the user and not the creator, right?
Yeah. So, yeah, there we go. I don't know what that long is, but wherever it is, it's quite pleasant. 25.95 Celsius.
1.5, yeah, that's a strange lat long.
I don't know. Let me see. I can, just out of pure interest, I am in Berlin. I know what the weather is. I can see, and I can actually look up here and see how accurate it might be in a minute. Yeah, it's raining for the next few days. 52.5. Oh God, I don't want to type that. That's a lot of numbers. Where is 1.5? Is that weird city in the middle of America that gets all the default mailbox stuff? I don't know. Have you heard about
I'm going to look that up right now.
Have you heard about that? This there's like a default address that a lot of developers set, and it actually turns out to be someone's address in the middle of America, and they end up with all this spam because it uses a default address.
No, I haven't heard about that.
Let's see, light rain. That is about right. Summer is over for
okay, you got it.
Yeah, that's about right. And then you can do things like remove a field that's returned. I mean, this is all pretty standard stuff right now. Yeah, and we can also do something like start to. I don't know what we're missing. I don't know if there's anything we've missed really, but there we go.
Yeah, maybe it's.
Put that back.
But that's one of the really nice things about GraphQL, right? Is that the schema can be auto-completed because it's part of
That was already there. I don't think there was much we were going to do there. So I mean, this is interesting so far, but I guess what has happened is it's manipulated a REST API into a GraphQL API at some point, but we're not 100% sure. So let's.
Yeah, we don't exactly know what it's done yet.
Yeah. Okay. API templates are pre-made GraphQL schemas configured with types, queries, and backends. It's pretty normal, again. Extended to help you create GraphQL API. In this case, the import step imported the Open Weather Map template. That looks like, let's have a look. Looks like what? Which one? One of these two, I guess. Sure, which one?
Yeah.
I don't think it's that.
Okay, I don't think it's that one. There we go.
Also, it's using a connector, so that's not showing us much right now, but we are just jumping around as usual. So, okay. And then uses their API. So there's a template and there's a gallery and some on GitHub, which is quite nice. You do not need to use a template to build your own schema, but it can give you a head start. Okay, let's take a quick look at the code to get a better understanding. The schema is currently made of 2 files. I could open this up, but I think we can probably see it here. So there's a GraphQL schema here. That's what we just saw. And this is the custom directive that I think is the kind of magic that would be nice to understand a bit more. We'll dig more into that in a later tutorial. Damn, that's probably what I really want to know right now. Okay. I'm kind of not really sure where the magic's happening right now, but this file is the glue that pulls it together. That's one that lists. And there's a config file for settings and things. I mean, there's not a lot.
So you're essentially just defining the schema in this template, right?
Yeah. I mean, I'd be interested to know about the connector, really. Let's maybe have a very quick, let's assume it was REST, I guess. So the cat API. So we create the model, basically, to query. Here we go. So here's their magic source. So it defines a REST. I think this is called I can't remember what this is called in GraphQL parlance. I'm not sure if what they've used here is the GraphQL term or their own term, but yeah, it's defining the endpoint and a configuration, which is possibly more
Directive or
detailed.
connector?
Something like that. I can't quite remember. Like a transformer or something like that. And here's the config. Oh, it's not too complicated. Authorization, basically. I mean, that's the JSON we would get back.
JSON response, yeah, okay. So it's essentially saying, hey,
oh, there we go.
Define the model, add the REST endpoint. But this is all standard GraphQL stuff, right?
I'm not sure about this REST stuff. I don't think so. I think that is where they've added some things to it. I think. Although I do get the impression that there may be others that do similar things. I'm not 100% sure. I've not seen that before, but without going, REST Connect is a custom StepZen directive. So, yeah. So this is their magic. It still looks like you have to do a reasonable amount of work here. But, I mean, you would have to do that any other way as well. If you were to not use StepZen and do something else, you'd have to do something similar in code or something. So this is easier in some respects. It actually reminds me a lot of Netlify. I have this Netlify CMS open source project where you can also do something similar with matching YAML to something, and it actually looks somewhat similar to me to that, which would make sense. It's a similar ecosystem. I mean, it's not impossible. You're just matching the fields and paths, basically. It's actually not too complicated. It's a bit tedious, but not complicated. And connecting to here, which is where it gets really interesting, I think. So define another API and then start to merge them and query to connected. That gets a bit complicated, of course, because they have to be compatible, but there are obviously cases where that would be the case, which is quite nice. Anyway, that's not too complicated. That's simpler than I was hoping. Obviously,
so StepZen is essentially a few extra commands in GraphQL that allow you to merge different data sources.
At this point, I mean, there's other things here. The Google Sheets one kind of looks interesting as well, actually. Let's just come back to this. I think we were getting to this in the next step of the tutorial, actually. So, one of the powerful aspects of StepZen is the ability to link APIs together. So we'll connect weather to IP address, all right? Start by importing into the current project. So we're already in there, I think. Yes, so we don't need to...
Start by importing this template.
Something is missing there.
Yeah, because making
Something is missing. They've missed
yeah,
the
it's just
import
telling you to
statement.
make a directory and move into it, but then it's saying this will create a new folder that adds the GraphQL files, but there's no way.
Something is missing. Good, we've found a bug in the docs. We can probably figure it out by going into, what was it, IP API. There we go.
There it is, import.
Yeah.
Wow, you called that one.
I think that's hopefully what we want. And it's on GitHub, so we can make a change in a minute, I think.
Well, you didn't make the directory. This is going to be in the same.
Yeah.
Okay, I see.
That's okay, I think. All right, good. I think that's okay.
Creates a new folder and adds new GraphQL files to the project.
Let's just double check that is there. Yeah, location, open weather map. Open the, I don't see that file though. It's called location.
IP API. Location. Huh.
Hope we've done the right thing. Let's go back to here. My existing project. That's what it says. Change.
It's within location. So the.
Good. Okay.
Yeah.
I think I can actually. Yeah.
There it is. Yeah.
So yeah. Okay. Let's hope this works. Good.
Oh, actually, it's called something different though. It's called location.graphql, not API. Yeah.
Let's hope this works. I don't know. Okay, we'll see what happens in a minute. So yeah, this is what we were discussing. So location has fields that match the weather report with lat long. StepZen can automatically execute the correct query. The finished type looks like this, which we hope is correct. With just this one line of code and some template files of materializer directive, I found another typo. We've wire two, oh dearie me, I will go and suggest this, two separate APIs together. So one is passed to the other. StepZen start. This is where we see if the slightly broken tutorial and now getting around it works. That'd be quite cool if it does. Although I'm not.
Oh, your endpoint's available at khaki part.
I just wanted to see what I do. So add the following query to get an IP address. All right, I will tempt fate and find out. I'm sure there's actually a better way of doing this, but I can't remember what it is. Oh, hello.
Does
it accept IPv6? I don't know. Oh, there we go. There's the IPv4. Oh, go away. I'm in Europe. Yes, cookie warnings. Okay, right. Okay.
Copied your IP.
So it thinks I'm in Munich, which I'm not, but that's because we have business internet. This bothers me. We've got an error.
Well, this is entirely different API, right?
Yeah, but we were hoping that would work.
Oh, strange. Maybe we just move to the other tutorial.
I don't know. Oh yeah, good point.
Oh.
Well, we can find. I think it might be weather report. Yeah, it's weather report.
Is this,
weather?
I'm sorry. Is this targeted at the endpoint that you're running locally?
Yes.
Oh, this is running off localhost. Yeah. Okay.
I think it's weather report. So something is out of date on that last step, basically. Was it weather report? That's what I just saw.
Weather report, yeah.
What have we got wrong? This is a shame. That was the real magic, and it's not quite there.
Must have
weather
selection.
report. Yes, I did mean what? Weather report must have a selection. Did you mean? Yes.
Maybe that inner block needs to be outside.
Have I mistyped something? Because it's suggesting what I have. Did I mistype something? No. Cannot query field. Cannot query field weather report on type location. Ooh.
I think you had it right, except you'd want to combine them. So it should match the schema, right? So weather report right now is nested inside location, which is wrong. It should be a sibling of location, right?
Yeah. I kind of get
Like
the
where it
feeling
was?
that's not going to work with the parsing.
And then you would want to add the lat long as a parameter.
No, because what we thought was going to happen is it would pass the IP address to it instead. But something's a bit awry with the tutorials being broken. That's a pain. That was kind of exactly what we wanted to test. Something is... that's a shame. That is a shame. Something is a bit broken.
Oh, yeah. You got it exactly the way it should be.
Because
you see two queries, the location and weather report. The following query and then query editor and run it. Oh, yeah.
Damn. Well, that is a shame. That's a shame, everybody. That's a shame.
What do you think is wrong?
Something is out of date, probably. We could possibly figure it out. Stab around in the dark. And that's the same error. Cannot query field weather on type location.
Yeah.
So something is not there. I'm not sure if we imported the wrong thing or imported something out of date. Yeah. Because this is also not right, is it? This is actually... We got something different there as well.
Yeah, so can you open up that file and see what's actually, what we're actually querying?
Let's see, I think we're actually missing... Wakey VS Code. So yeah, we don't have that. Yeah, I think we're missing something. Missing this somewhere, somehow, because of the slightly wonky...
Well, weather's not even in there at all. So we missed something.
Well, we missed something because we don't know what we missed because something's missing.
We missed the missing step.
We missed something because something's missing, but we don't know
Oh,
what's missing.
no. It says here, look, open up weather report and add this thing to the file. We didn't do that. Open the file, IP API location.
Because in every other place, it's been there already. Okay, all right. But I don't see this file either. Do I have to create the file then? Do I create it?
No, that's when you made fun of me and you went, because it's
But do I create that or because this doesn't exist? So
I'm going to guess that's location API, location.graphql, and they've just renamed it in the
yeah. Okay.
It's got to be that.
This one, yeah.
Yeah.
And I guess it's to the location type. Yes, that would make sense now. Because then we're at it, right? Okay.
Okay. Then we can start the server again. It's one of those tricky ones where, there's only one line of code to edit in the tutorial.
In every other case, it's been there. That's the strange thing.
Yeah.
So it's me assuming, but them assuming as well. A little bit of assuming on both sides. That's my excuse anyway.
Oh, okay. Let's see. Can the map? Oh,
we don't have. There you go. We don't have an error. That's good.
Okay.
I want to get a different IP address again. Let's get mine again. I know there's a better way of doing this, but that'll... Come on, give me IPv4, please. I don't want IPv6. I don't know if we can see if that works.
It's going to sell you a VPN.
Oh, what's going on? Oh, man.
Google has if you just type what's my IP into Google, it'll just return it.
I don't want IPv6. Why have I got IPv6? Oh, who cares? All right, let's just use whatever that one is. Okay. Nice. So yeah,
Hey.
so Orlando moderate rain. Oh, it's quite a bit warmer. Um, I wonder, like, this is interesting because I wonder where it got the units from. Was it based on? It can't be based on anything I've said.
No, there's no way it's based on
So how did
location.
that? Where did that come from? That's kind of interesting. I wonder where that came from.
I bet you can change the units if we try hard enough.
Or it could be that, no offense to you, Ian, that the API does Celsius by default because that's what most people measure the temperature.
Because it's superior and we should be on that. Yeah.
I don't see anything they've done to.
Look, I'm not responsible for the system to be.
Yeah,
If I
must
had
be
my way,
something.
time would be base 10 as well.
That's a whole other conversation. There's some fascinating Wikipedia pages about alternative time measurements. But yeah. Okay, good. Well, actually, even their example shows it. Yeah. So as long as you can determine the IP address, you should be able to deliver a message to a website like. It's not quite where we're at, but anyway. Oh, I see. We could say, "Hey, Orlando, you have moderate rain." Yes. Okay. Yeah. Because that's what it says right now. Okay, well I mean, we missed with a couple of, one thing wrong and we missed a step, but it was reasonably straightforward. I wonder, like, if you want to cross, say, for example, REST and MySQL or something like that, if that is any more complicated.
I think we should try the Google Sheets really quickly.
Yeah, this could get. All right, well, let's just follow the example. Let's see if that works.
Maybe we can get the movies in Orlando
Whoa, hello.
and the weather, and then we can.
Suggest a film based on. I ain't got time. Okay, let's.
We can predict box office sales based on the weather.
Well, Florida. I don't think Florida ever shut down, did it? So, it's probably. It's weird because like the cinemas are just open. They've been open air here for about a month or so, and they're opening indoors again from today. It's like there's no films. There's all films from months ago because actually look forward to see a new film. So this is interesting. Let's generate the GraphQL code using introspection. So this is using their Sheets API, their one, to post
service that's turning Google Sheets into GraphQL schemas.
I mean, I don't know how that would really work with like anything. I don't know, but it seems kind of cool if that was the case. Let's see. I guess a spreadsheet is somewhat easier because the data structures are a little bit more predictable, maybe. Let's see. Cool. The value of name determines the name of the type, and the value of URL is the sheet URL with the ID of the specific sheet. You can typically get this by opening and then copying the URL. Yeah. Command will output the code for the GraphQL file in the console. It looks like the following. Copy this. Okay, well, I'm just going to copy that one.
Oh, no, we use the one that we got.
All right.
Maybe you have a specific...
Okay, so...
We can't trust any of the docs, although it does look almost identical.
Yeah. Maybe the URL is going to be different. I'm not sure. No, it's the same one. Okay. All right. Yeah, I don't have any GraphQL extensions, so I'm not getting anything pretty there. Okay, great. Then create an index.graphql file, which is required, which, yep. This is doing a little bit of magic, but so movie to the same file. Did I just call that the wrong? Oh, create an index.GraphQL. Sorry, right. For some reason, I find the docs hard to parse, and I have no idea why. I don't think it's anything to do with them. I think it's me.
Sometimes those little like code literals are another color or something. Makes it easy.
Long day. Okay. Sorry.
Okay.
Okay. Deploy the endpoint to StepZen. Is that what that? Were we deploying it? That's interesting.
Yeah. Are you running it locally?
I don't know. I thought it's local, but maybe it does a bit of both.
Let's deploy and test our GraphQL API.
Eyewitness ragdoll. Sure, that sounds a bit sinister, but why not?
Yeah. Yeah, it's actually deploying to StepZen.
No, it is. It's also available remotely as well.
Okay.
Yeah, and this
kind of
khaki J part.
It's kind of
so
if I'm developing an app locally, is that exposing all of my local data?
I don't know. I'm not sure. Don't know. Interesting question. Okay, so I'm not completely sure. Over the years, I've seen this example somewhere before. I've worked with this example before. So year __ C. Not quite sure what that means. Title B. I guess that's just the weird formatting that comes from Google Sheets. So yeah. Well, this is funny. I was talking about Popeye earlier. I guess that's the original Popeye though. That's Friday the 13th. Great film.
Okay, well, we got the titles from the Google Sheet.
Werner Herzog eats his shoe. What? Anyway, you should see something like, yes, as you can see, Google Sheets accept queries that look somewhat like SQL. Syntax requires column identifiers, not column names. Made it easier by accepting column names we internally translate to the column identifier, and then there's going to be more there. Run it past your own Google Sheet. All right. I have a Google Sheet that is public, and I don't mind exposing to you. Let me think.
I'll see if I have one.
I have to think what I might have. We have to then make the schema, so something not too complicated.
2020 taxes.
I wouldn't put that. Tech journalists. Actually, that's not mine, and I get the impression that is not one that people would want. I don't think I've got anything. I don't know. I don't think I have anything.
Okay, I think I have one.
That's all. That's definitely all personal. I'm not putting that in there. So yeah. It's quite cool though. Oh yeah, we could have just made one. That's a very good point. We could have just made one from scratch.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah, which is what they're doing here. Oh, right to the sheet. Now that's actually interesting as well. So yeah. I don't know. We're starting to run relatively close to time anyway, so I don't know. I think it's interesting though because it generates the GraphQL for us, which is the hardest part probably. And then as far as I can tell, you just need that with replacing that with the relevant file. And I mean, that's pretty simple, really. I don't know. Like, I really wonder how easy that really is on something very complicated. So there we go. There's a Google Sheets search engine. Of course there is.
Really? File search box.
Wow. You've got to know what you want to search for.
Search all public Google Sheets. Wow.
What am I searching for?
Search for
weather.
My first thought was a movie. Search for like birds or something. I don't know.
Birds.
What?
F Bird's airdrop. Oh God, the Bird Book, Charlie Parker's real book.
These are not Google Sheets.
Most watched YouTube gaming videos. There we go. That's one.
Oh, that's cool.
As of 2015, but yeah, whatever. Yeah, that'll do. That's perfect. Okay. I think.
Baby bath
All right.
gaming for little kids.
So what do we need to do? We need to
Curl X post, yeah.
Okay, just close that, paste that, and then replace it. I don't know why my terminal does this. It's very annoying. It takes ages.
I'm really enjoying that it's like that.
Sheet URL. So just the URL of the sheet or the URL of the
Is it the share? Oh,
yeah. That's how do we get if that's the case? How
I mean, you might have been right with that bottom one.
I mentioned it. Where was it? It was up here somewhere. Maybe. No, I think that's edit GID. I think that's correct. Let's see. Yeah, that looks correct.
Yeah,
that looks
yeah.
correct.
Okay.
Okay, good. All right.
Ooh.
Oh, what? No. Oh, no, that's correct. Okay, good. I think I have it set to doing a lot of like escaping. That's probably why it's a bit slow. I can't remember. All right, so we should be able to just do that. I've got a loose quote somewhere.
And there's single quote needed at the end. Yeah. Oh. Invalid character and string escape code.
What did we miss?
It doesn't look the GID thing.
Yeah.
Even though that's in the example. Oh, maybe because you escaped.
Escaped it because I pasted it.
Yeah. Try that. That looks good. That one doesn't. Oh no, that
was the old one. There's only a couple there, so let's just that's it. I think. Yeah.
Yeah, that looks good.
Oh damn it!
Oh.
Again.
Hey.
Oh.
No column labels. Only alphanumeric.
It's got dates. Okay. Well, that's not mentioned.
Hey, calm down. It's not that big a deal.
Throw an empty bottle. They get too excited. Yeah. Okay. Only alphanumeric allowed. Okay. Well, that's interesting, but that's strange because surely the movies would have. Oh, it's just a year.
Alphanumeric. What is it? Oh.
So it's
doesn't
like that. It doesn't like that column.
Oh yeah.
And it's not our sheet, so we can't change this. I mean, we could just change it to the timestamp or something, but we can't because it's not our sheet.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Well, I mean, we could keep looking, or we could just say, well, at least it gave us a pretty meaningful error message, which is good. So, yeah. Well, I think we get the idea. It's pretty good. I wouldn't mind very quickly looking at the front ends side to see what happens there, and then so connecting to StepZen. Well, actually, I mean, it just gives you the GraphQL endpoints, and then you can kind of do whatever you would normally do, I guess. Yeah, I don't think there's anything specific to StepZen. No, it's pretty normal to what you would do with normal GraphQL. So that's pretty good. I wonder what, because what you mentioned about this account thing, I wonder what, let's just go back up to that last one, there, and see what that other URL is. Because I got this weird feeling I don't know if we've actually logged in properly to see what I can see in the account. I think the company is relatively new, so I wouldn't necessarily expect it to all be there yet. But let's see. So this is it hosted there at their end. Yeah, it's kind of basically the same. So I don't think. Oh no, it's localhost again. Yeah. So it is forwarding.
Oh,
It's
interesting.
forwarding. It's doing
Maybe
an
when you
exposure.
deploy it, they
Yeah.
redirect the URL or something.
Exposure isn't a word, but I quite like it. But yeah, I don't see kind of anything else in account apart from this.
Yeah, do you even need
So
why do you need an account to do this at all?
I feel like the service is either missing something or we missed the login properly.
Wow, $29 a month. That's pretty.
Yeah, although 300,000 calls per month free, 10 backends is pretty good, I think, for messing
Yeah,
around.
pretty generous.
I would actually, to be honest with you, I think if we were to ever ask that question, which is something to ask quite a lot, would I use it? Like when we looked at what was that marketing API one we looked at?
Oh, Banner Bear.
Banner Bear. Like I would have used it, but it was too expensive for me to use.
Yeah, yeah.
This, for some like basic application kind of fudging together, 30,000 calls a month and 10 backends, it's more than enough for a side project. It's pretty good, actually. Yeah. It's pretty good, actually. I wonder how much of it is open source as well. That's the other interesting thing.
I don't know if I'm sold on the value of just combining things into one API.
Really, it's also what Gatsby does. Gatsby has this big promise of doing this as well. I have had use cases for it quite often personally, and I've ended up fudging it quite a lot. The complexity comes in the details, as always, as you'd expect.
That's what I was wondering. Like, what if you want to have specific permissions for joining the data or whatever?
Well, that was mentioned. That's the interesting thing. That was mentioned in the documentation or in the overview, but I don't see. Maybe that's coming later. I get the feeling this is actually a reasonably new product because it mentions it on the homepage, but then there's nothing here. So I get the feeling it doesn't exist yet, but it probably will. Yeah. Yeah, there's a lot kind of coming soon, I think. So I think we may have picked on them a little early, maybe. But actually, I mean, as a basic kind of idea, I'm pretty like there was a few missing things in the docs and stuff, but I get the impression it's probably like 5 people or something. So a few more, but not many. Yeah, not that many people. So for a reasonably small company and a reasonably new product, it's interesting. I kind of have a use case for it. I think for me, the main negative is I'm not sure if I would want to do it and then have GraphQL. I think I want REST. But I'm not sure if that's really what REST is meant for. GraphQL is kind of more designed for that kind of use case. So yeah, I don't know. What do you think, Ian? How do you feel
my prediction is that they will become a single API through which you can access all the pre-built connectors. Like it's sure that they have like FedEx and to me, like that seems like more valuable or something where I can like get one account and get all these APIs or something like that. And I predict that that'll be the service they provide later because I don't really 100%, I'm not 100% sold on combining the data.
Okay.
I think that will get too complex.
Yeah. I do have use cases for it, but I think you're right. If I then got into the implementation detail, I'm not sure how easy it would actually end up being.
Yeah, because say you want to do like, okay, let's look up these 20 locations and then these IPs, but then we also want to combine the results or do a merge or something. Like, I don't know that you can express that in GraphQL. You'd almost have to do that anyway on the server or the client or something to do some complex, complex merging or something.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of
to
this
see. I'd have to go back and then look at my use cases. My use cases, I actually had some quite esoteric data sources, which was the problem. I wanted to combine an ICS calendar feed and some markdown files. This is what Gatsby was good at. But then I hit the problem with Gatsby was the plugins I needed didn't really work.
Yeah.
Because it's open source and they hadn't really been updated. Yeah. And of course I could have fixed it, but et cetera, et cetera. That was so StepZen wouldn't help me in that use case either, because those use cases are pretty weird. Oh, actually, I wonder if it, because in theory, if it's GraphQL, if you could use other plugins, get GraphQL, so you can kind of like do some abstraction here into there, and then get some things from them, and like combine it all together, you know?
Yeah.
Anyway, all right. I'm gonna have to wrap up. How can people stay in touch with you, Ian?
You can find me on Twitter at Ian Jennings, but the E is a 3. The company I run is called Haxor, HAXOR.sh. And what about you?
I am at christianschiller.com. You can find a whole bunch of things I do. Writing, other videos, games. I've been very panicky today because I have been wrapping up a game for a game competition. So that will be on my website soon.
What's your game going to be?
It's for a small game company, I think in the UK, where you had to build a role-playing game with 18 cards.
Right, that sounds cool. It's a good limit.
Yeah. It was actually quite hard, which was a fun thing, actually. Challenge is hard. We'll be back on the 14th of July at 15:30 UTC. That's 17:30 Central European time, 5:30 p.m. I don't know what time that is in your time zone, Ian, but
it's about 10:30 a.m. 10:30 a.m. Central.
We haven't decided what we'll look at yet, so keep an eye out on the YouTube channel and our own individual Twitterers, and we'll let you know. But do you want to sign us off, Ian?
Signing off. This is developers, or Devx5. I'm Ian. That's Chris, and we'll see you in 2 weeks.
See ya.